What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm Scotty for Prez, but after playing Modern Warfare 3 for the next year, I may need to just change it to Sweaty for Prez because, dear God, man, I am sitting in my chair drenched from my head to my toes after just a few hours of playing this game. I made a video some time back and got more shit than a dog park for addressing my thoughts on skill-based matchmaking. I primarily got it because I stated I did think that it needs to be in the game, but to no extent and nowhere near as strict as it has been recently. Now, in that same video, I said I didn't know if the matchmaking was turned up or not for this game, and that I could be wrong. And let me tell you guys, let me just say it, I think I was freaking wrong. I'm still a firm believer that skill-based matchmaking needs to be in Call of Duty, and I will get to that in a minute, so just hold off. But in regards to its place in this game, look, I've tried not to feed into the hype of the sweatiness. I've tried to keep in mind that it is still a new game, a lot to adjust to, and I'm also just not playing my absolute best because I'm gunning for camos. But with all that said, it's really getting old being in lobbies as competitive as these are, match after match after match. Rarely am I below second on my team, and even then, all the KDs in the lobby are so close to a 1.0, and there's only a few outliers typically. These are good players I'm playing against too. I'm constantly getting diamond and crimson skins in my game, so don't try to sit, on the other side of that screen and try to make me out to be some type of schmuck. Don't try and play me like that. The matchmaking has been annoying to deal with, but in the past, it just really hasn't bothered me because I've been primarily playing ranked. But in this game, not playing ranked, just grinding out multiplayer, it's getting so annoying. And it doesn't feel like there's any give either. You know what I mean? Like when I was doing the knives, obviously I was having some pretty bad KD games. And even after I finished those games and went back to using normal weapons, my next games were no better. I feel like I'm in some Black Mirror episode, just waking up to the same nightmare over and over. One of the biggest things I wish that Activision or Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, whoever would do is just make a statement acknowledging that, yeah, we know you guys don't like matchmaking, but this is why we're keeping it around. The fact that they're just letting it just go, I feel like I'm being gaslighted. Like I'm in an abusive relationship and I'm being gaslighted. I'm sure that they're keeping it like this because it probably comes down to the money. It typically does. And honestly, I'm tired of complaining about it, but it's really my only gripe with this game. I like the weapons. I like the armory unlock system. I know, sue me. The gear is cool. The maps play well, but the matchmaking is easily the worst part about this game. Part of me feels like once ranked does release and then most of the sweats who play ranked and Warzone migrate over, it'll get slightly better, but I doubt it'll be by a very wide margin. And on top of that, I'll be going over to ranked and Warzone as well, so I guess it doesn't really help me out. So you're probably wondering how, after all this whining and moaning that I'm doing, how can I still possibly believe it has some place in COD? And I'm gonna tell you right after you hit the like button because I know you probably forgot. When I say I think it should be in Call of Duty, I mean that. Ultimately, ping should be king. Connection should trump every other consideration, but I do think that the very bottom tier players need to be separated from, at the very least, the very top players. When I say that, people think, no, it has no place in pubs. But I think it's been so long with this system that some people have forgotten just how bad the players on the bottom really can be. I'm gonna be honest, I'd love to play against more lower skilled players, but at the same time, I do not want to play against people who could have actual disabilities. I'm not trying to be funny, man. Call of Duty is a massive game title. It has fans from all over the world, made up of all different types of people, and some of them are disabled, whether it be from illness or some physical impairment, whatever it is. And that's what I mean. When people hear me say it needs to be in the game, they think I want bad players to be protected. No, not at all. I want those players to have to grind and get better, just as I did when I was young and first playing. But some people, like the people in this Reddit thread that I'm gonna throw up on the screen, they're genuinely disabled. I don't know, man. I'm sure some of you would feel good dropping 60 on them and spawn trapping them into the dirt with chopper gunners, but not me. If they adjust to Call of Duty and get better and continue to get better, then guess what? They'd move up to the general populace. I'm not saying all disabled people who play Call of Duty are bad, but let's just say someone is deaf. They're clearly at a disadvantage in this game, especially when we have a perk like bone conduction. While I most definitely think skill-based matchmaking is something that needs to be addressed, I just need to clarify my thoughts on it a little bit. If you disagree, I respect that, and I can see the argument that it has no place in multiplayer. I used to feel the same way, but I've had some interactions this past year or two that it's changed my mind. Overall, let me know what you guys are thinking about this whole debacle, how it's affecting the game, and if you're even gonna keep playing. And as always, I appreciate your time, I appreciate your support, and I'm gonna see you next time. Deuces.